All righty, then we will get started. So my name is Melissa, and I'm a clinical staff pharmacist. I live in the Lehigh Valley in Pennsylvania, and I am so glad everybody's joining us tonight, whether in person or on the recording. Tonight, we'll be sharing how one simple change can be the catalyst for your family's optimal health. And I've become a big believer that small, simple changes can lead up to big results. I just heard something today that said, asking someone to completely revamp their diet is like huge. It's like trying to create, world peace. You can't do it, but we have a couple simple changes that we can help you instill into your life, in the next couple days, maybe even tomorrow. So you've been invited because somebody respects you and cares about you, and we're hoping you will gather something from this talk and think of maybe somebody, yourself or somebody else, who really needs to hear this. So we're going to start it right off. And I think you'd all agree that being healthy in today's day and age is challenging. It's hard to eat healthy. It's hard to shop healthy. We're all busy, and there's two big reasons. And the first one here is on the screen. Environmental toxins are increasing. So pollution, water contaminants, pesticides. We have all ladies on here, skincare products, hair care products. And the more I dive into those two things, the more I'm like, oh, these aren't healthy either. And it's just, so the next reason we're also not healthy is that our food quality is decreasing. And I think that's something that everybody hears about every day. And more than 50% of what Americans eat is processed. And right now in our healthy living community, we're doing something called the Shred 10. And one of the things we try to eliminate on the 10 days, one of the guidelines is processed foods. And it can definitely be hard. But how I mentioned about shopping, you want to shop the outside of the grocery store when you're trying to avoid those processed foods. So that's where all your fresh stuff is. So, oh, can you go back a second? You're too fast for me.
Sorry.
That's okay. If you can, it's okay. So what's in our food that's making it bad? So preservatives, synthetic vitamins, growth hormones, GMOs, pesticides again, and broccoli, as an example, could lose 50 to 80% of its key nutrients before you even purchase it, which is crazy. So we're going to focus on real food tonight as one of the main reasons about what you can do to be healthier. So what can we do? So exercise. So we're chatting before we started that I'm going to go for a walk after this. Every little bit counts. Start small and incorporate it into a daily routine. Sleep 7 to 8 hours. I just heard something the other day and it really struck me. And when you sleep, it's your body's time to regenerate and put itself all back together. So gypping yourself of sleep is really just making you feel bad for a lot of reasons. Manage stress. I always love that this lady looks like she's meditating at work. It's okay. Do it. Drink water. So half of our body weight in ounces. I've been trying to do that and add on another 32 ounces to see if I can get that done at work. Use safer products. We touched on that a little bit. There's a website you can go to. I don't want to get it wrong. I think it's EWG. That you can go to and you put in the product name and it'll tell you if it's red, just like a stoplight, red, yellow, or green. And then, like I said, we're going to focus on eating real food. So we're going to focus on real food and mostly fruits and veggies, because a lot of doctors will agree that so many diseases are preventable with good nutrition. And that's just crazy. So that's why we're going to focus on fruits and veggies. So we need 7 to 13 servings of fruits and veggies every day. And this is just really, really hard. And most people do not get this. You don't get it. And it's like nearly impossible to get it some days. I had maybe 3 or 4 today. If anybody wants to put in the chat, they can, how many they ate. And why do we need so many fruits and veggies? Well, produce is picked before before nutrition fully develops. It's transported thousands of miles. 90% of Americans just don't eat enough servings, or we don't get a variety. So like I always buy apples, bananas, and oranges. You need a variety. And I don't even know what kind of veggies I buy, like carrots, cucumbers, and lettuce. And we need a little bit more of a variety than that. So what can we do? Well, before we get to what can we do, one more. So as a pharmacist, I'll share with you about multivitamins. So I always thought multivitamins were really, really good for you. And it turns out they're made in a lab, and there are about 10,000 phytonutrients in an apple versus maybe 10 to 100 in a vitamin. That's not even that page on the right that you can't read. I think it's like one of, I could say 4 or 5 pages. I'm not even really sure. But a multivitamin,
more than that.
Yeah, it would probably be more than that. I started that sentence and thought I don't actually know the answer to this. So research has showed that isolated vitamins may do more harm than good. And this is one of the things that I like to talk about with my personal journey in health and wellness, because I became a pharmacist because I like to help people. And as I go through my career of 20 years, I've realized there's so much more I can do. And there's so much more I'm meant for. And I just feel like I have a bigger purpose. And I want to help people prevent disease rather than treat it. And, tonight we all have a message we're going to share and talk about. So I'm going to pass it over to my sister, Jen, who will give you a little more info about the simple change. And then Melody's going to go into a little bit of the science at the end and then close it out for us.
Thank you, Melissa. So I want to touch upon oxidative stress. So often I would hear these words, oxidative stress, free radicals, and I never really knew what it meant until this picture helped me connect all of the words. So in your body, you have oxidants or free radicals that are hitting your cells all day long. Oxidants cause aging and disease. So if you look at the left side of the apple, it's brown, aging, rusting. The antioxidants in fruits and vegetables protect the cells from the oxidative stress. So that's why eating fruits and vegetables to get all those antioxidants and phytonutrients is so important. So what actually is Juice Plus? Juice Plus is 30 different fruits, vegetables, and berries that you can simply add to your diet. They are picked at the peak of ripeness, pulverized into powders, and placed into capsules or chewable gummies. This is the large variety of fruits and vegetables that you would be getting in the fruit, veggie, and berry blend. And like Melissa said, we need 7 to 13 fruits and vegetables a day. But just as she was talking about her grocery shopping, we're not, even if we eat 13, we're probably not getting a large variety and with all the colors of the rainbow. So when I first started taking Juice Plus consistently, keyword consistently, I immediately saw an increase in my energy. So I'm a 3rd grade teacher. And in the afternoon, oftentimes I would run to the neighbor next door and get a cup of coffee. And when I was consistently feeding my body the Juice Plus, I noticed that I was no longer going over to her room and getting that second cup of coffee. And my energy just sustained through the entire afternoon and well into the evening. Then I started to eat a little differently and without even realizing what I was doing. So instead of grabbing a lean pocket, because lean pockets were healthier than hot pockets, or making a lunch meat sandwich, I was taking the leftover chicken from our dinner and just throwing it on a bed of lettuce. But for me, one of the best benefits was with my allergies. My allergies have greatly decreased. I was going from at least 4 different kinds of over-the-counter medicine in the spring and in the fall. and I was taking allergy shots, and I'm happy to say that I no longer am taking allergy shots, and I do not take over-the-counter medicine for my allergies anymore. Yes, I'll clap for that too. We also have a plant-based omega. So our omega is a full spectrum, 3, 5, 6, 7, 9. Omegas are good for your heart, your brain, your memory, your joints, your skin, and your eyes. But our omegas come from plants, not from fish. So oftentimes when you think of omegas, and if you've ever taken omegas, you have that fishy taste, that fishy smell. So our omega skips the fish and goes right to the plant. One of my favorite products is the Juice Plus Complete Shakes. They're vegan, non-GMO, gluten and dairy-free, but with 13 grams of protein, so it keeps me full, 8 grams of fiber, and it's low glycemic, stabilizing your blood sugar. So you're not going to see a spike in your blood sugar and then have a fall. 15 different plants. On the bottom, you can see that you can make a smoothie. You can make energy bites. We have so many recipes to share with you. One of my most favorites is overnight oats. So I'll use the complete with oats and almond milk and then top it with fruit. And I'll meal prep that on a Sunday, and I have my breakfast for the morning. I just grab it and go. It's so good. We have a new shake mix, Juice Plus Perform. This has 25 grams of protein. So it can be for anyone, but it would be very good for athletes and people that work out a lot. So it gives you protein to build your muscles, mental focus to support your workout, energy to withstand your workout, and a great recovery. And it has the other 2 flavors are chocolate and vanilla for the complete. This has a tart cherry flavor. I'm going to pass it to my friend Melody, and she's going to close it out and talk a little bit about the research.
All right, awesome. Thanks, Jen. So basically, this slide just brings us to the whole mission and purpose of what Juice Plus is and what it was created for. So almost 30 years ago, the company set out to bridge the gap between what we should be eating, what our bodies were designed to eat and thrive on versus what we are eating. And it's not our fault. I mean, this is the world we live in, and this is kind of what we've been exposed to. But we all know that this picture on the left, although it tastes delicious, it doesn't make us feel good. It doesn't help our bodies thrive or stay healthy. And but the picture on the right, the rainbow of fruits and vegetables, is really what our bodies were designed to eat. So that's where the Juice Plus comes in. And I love this picture because I just like to point out that the top is the complete, and of course you could put the Perform in there as well. The protein powders are the macronutrition for your diet, and the capsules or the chewables are the micronutrition. So there's the building blocks for energy and just everything you need for the protein, carb, fat like energy cycle. And then there's the cellular level, which is what keeps you healthy and energy and all of that. So this kind of gives the complete, no pun intended, picture of the whole Juice Plus company. It's very simple. So if there's anything on here that you see that you're like, this is something that I need, because if your diet consists of any of this stuff on the left, you probably, and you're not eating enough of the stuff on the right, Juice Plus is for you. All right. Okay, so then I get this question a lot, and sometimes people say, well, why Juice Plus? Like, why are you so passionate about this product? What's different from it versus the multivitamin that I'm taking from Target? Well, I'm glad you asked, and I'm glad you're thinking that those things, because first, if you're taking a multivitamin, you're one step ahead of other people. So, but there are 3 things, actually, not just one, but 3 things that make Juice Plus unique and really set it apart from any other supplement manufacturer on the market worldwide, by the way. Number one is it's food. It has a food label. So it's going to have not a supplement facts, but it's going to have a nutrition facts label. This would be the same as buying a bag of broccoli or mixed vegetables or anything you buy from the supermarket. So that is one of the first things, which tells you that 100% of it is natural food items. Not one thing is synthetic in it. So it does not get a supplement label. It also checks all the boxes. You can see it's made with non-GMO, vegan, kosher, gluten-free, dairy-free. So really almost any person on any diet can take these products. Number two, it's NSF certified. So Juice Plus, I just found out, has its own 360-point check internally for every batch of product that they put into capsules or chewables. And then they hand it off to the NSF third party. It's the highest level of worldwide certification that you can attain. And they check for so much: mold, pesticides, fungicides, bacteria, banned substances, stimulants. I mean, any type of residue that could have blown from another farm, it's checked. So, and then just kind of to put the butter on top of the bagel, since we're not eating them anymore, right? Then I love it's kind of like the proof is in the pudding. Okay, I'm going to stop. But there are no warning labels on this product. So whatever I see Michelle, you laughing at me. Whatever you're taking, you want to look at the label. And if it says, if you're pregnant or nursing, do not take this product without checking with your doctor. That's a big warning label. And then if they don't have an independent certification on top of it, well, okay. How do I know what's really in here and what I'm actually doing to my body? So not only do they have that NSF certification, but on top of it, there's no warning labels. It is safe for pregnant women. It is safe for moms, and it's safe for the elderly, and it's safe for children. Isn't that great? My son, I actually took it the whole way through my second pregnancy, ditched my prenatals because I found that I had so much more energy. And I wasn't getting that 5 o'clock slump where I had to take a nap in my first trimester before cooking dinner. And so I quickly got on the product myself. At the time, only my daughter was on it, and I was stealing her gummies. And then I ended up ditching my prenatals, and my son started taking it at 8 months old. He was begging for it. So it's pretty cool. And the third thing that stands out that makes it unique is it's the most researched product in the world. Okay, so to date, this slide is a little bit outdated now because they keep doing so much research. There are more than 40 published clinical studies. So let's go to the clinical studies and talk about that a little bit. So this is what really got me into Juice Plus with the vision. Because my husband's a chiropractor and we wanted to bring it into our practice. And a lot of doctors you'll see are supporting Juice Plus because of the clinical research. So I just want to tell you what type, first of all, for those who aren't science geeks, the types of studies that they're done, because if you could totally geek out on Google with this, but what it is to have a gold standard study, which every single study that has been done by Juice Plus is gold standard. It means that it's randomized, it's double blind, placebo controlled, it's tested on the product itself, the final product, not borrowed research. And borrowed research says, hey, my product contains vitamin C, and vitamin C has been shown to improve your immune system. Therefore, I can make a claim that my product improves your immune system. That's borrowed research. That's not what Juice Plus is. All of the research is done on the final product, which is the unique combination of all the ingredients in that product. It's also done on human beings in an ethical way, and it's published in peer-reviewed clinical journals. So with that said, this is some of the stuff they've found. I mean, everything from dental health. Oh, I love the gut health one, guys. That's hits close to home for me. And it's a newer study. The effects on the microbiome, lung function, skin health, hair. I always joke, because I turned 40 last year and I don't have any gray hairs, and everyone's like, you don't have any wrinkles yet either. And so, oh, must be all the Juice Plus, because I think at its root, it is anti-aging because of the reduction of the oxidative stress in the body. So there's just so many things that it's shown. And I love that these studies have given consistent positive outcomes in all of them. So this quote at the bottom, I just want to point out before we wrap up that Dr. Richard Du Bois, he says there's nothing else available any place in the world with or without a prescription that has been clinically proven to do what Juice Plus can do. And on that note, we can't talk about research without talking about the longest research study that has been going on, a 20+ year research study on children. And this is one that you can participate in yourself. Children's age 4 to 8 or 4 to college age can get it for free. Well, it's a small donation. It's a $10 per shipment, which helps cover the cost of shipping. And I love that they do this in almost all the countries. I actually just got my friend in Ireland just signed up and sponsored her 6-year-old daughter. And I love that they're doing it worldwide as well. And after all, over 1.5 million families that have participated in this program, look at the results. This is what the most up-to-date results that they have. So basically 2/3 or more are seeing the doctor less, not taking as many prescription drugs, drinking more water, eating less fast food, missing fewer days of school. And of course, I love eating more fruits and vegetables. We were at a bridal shower over the weekend, and I handed my daughter this beautiful looking homemade cupcake with white icing and a cinnamon roll on top. And she ate about half of it and handed it back to me and said, "Mommy, I think I'm full. It's too sweet, too sweet." And then about 5 minutes later, I was just observing. She picked up her veggie cup with raw vegetables and just started munching on the raw vegetables. So 3.5 years on Juice Plus, I can tell you my just turned 8-year-old is craving the good stuff. And this research shows. So thank you so much for watching this tonight, for joining us tonight. And you might be thinking, if you're watching this, so what now? What do I do now? Well, there's 3 things you can do. There's 3 ways to get involved with Juice Plus. If you're like, yeah, this is the good stuff, like we all think. First and foremost, you can become a customer. If you're not already taking these products, we encourage you to give them a shot. We love serving our customers. The second thing you could do is you could share Juice Plus with 3 to 5 friends and family members and get your products at a discount or free. When I decided to start sharing with my friends and family, I did a Zoom call like this. And within 3 months, and I take every product, including using the Tower Garden, which we didn't even talk about tonight. Within 3 months, my products were free. So it's really nice to get that the company, the way it's structured, thanks you for sharing with friends and family. And if you're like all in, you're like, this sounds great. I mean, these products are amazing. And I've been looking to, earn extra income and make that car payment or do my house repairs. You could cast a vision and really go all in with the business like Melissa and Jen and I have. So we'd love to talk to you more about that. Please talk to whoever invited you to watch this tonight. And thank you so much.